All right. How you getting on, you well? Are you good? How's your granny? She's still on bloody Slack Messenger? Oh my god, the attachments this broad is sending me. 8 p.m. I says. 8 p.m. this broad sending me PDFs via an attachment on Slack. Although this broad is so fucking old I'm seeing right now, and this is a different broad. She sends me carrier pigeons. This is a sort of broad. I send her a text message like a good fucking red-blooded millennial. And this broad is sending me carrier pigeons. I'm going to call her a C word. But I won't. Because I like her, man. I'm in love with her. But there's a problem. What's the problem? The problem is I send her text and she's so old she sends me carrier pigeons. And I don't read the messages because I think that they're tags on the pigeon's leg. You know, like when you see a swan in the park and it's got a tag? That's what I think these things are. So I can't read any of the messages from this broad. Oh, Maro, I don't know what I'm doing. Look, the reason that bit was so lame is I'm still riddled with COVID. I'm still riddled. Sorry for peeking there. I'm still riddled with the old COVID-19. No, I'm not riddled, right? I'll tell you who wrote it. Rod Liddled. I'm Rod Liddled with COVID right now. It's just so boring. It's just so boring. I don't know. Come here to me. Look, everything's fine. I'm happy. Right? You can call me Frel, right? Because I'm happy. Right? But fucking hell. Jesus Christ. It's so boring. COVID is more boring than someone telling you about a dream that they had where nothing interesting happened. Do you know me and you had a dream? Me and you we were in Spar trying out that new vegan chicken fillet roll. You and me. What? What? I heard. You looked at me and your face immediately turned to static. That's the most boring thing I've ever heard in my whole life. Right? That's what COVID is. And the disappointment. It's like eating a shepherd's pie. This is back in 1992, before we had those little Schwarzkopf flavor packets you could just throw in some browned meat and make things taste nice, right? Back in the day when your ma was all like, I browned the meat, what else do you want? It's not raw, is it? Then eat it. You know, back when everyone didn't taste good at all, right? It's like getting through the fucking shepherd's pie and then having a big fucking dollop just put on top of you. And you're like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? You know? And do you know what it's like, actually? It's like coming home thinking that you're going to tuck into a lovely microwavable Big Al's burger and a microwavable microchip, and then finding out you're getting shepherd's pie. And you're like, well, ma'am, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. Don't you know who I am? I'm the baby. I'm the baby. Don't you know that? I'm the special one. You can't do this to me. I'll call Childline. I used to threaten to call Childline all the time. I think there was a lot of 666s in the number, and I thought that was cool. I'll call the fucking devil and I'll get him to sort you out. Hi, Childline. Yeah, get this here. I wanted a processed Big Al's burger and a load of microchips. Man's after fucking slapping down a load of spuds and meat. So, will you be kicking down the door? Do you need me to put on the latch? Or it's just disappointing. It's just disappointing, right? And people sending me, people saying, hey, look, not all bad, huh? Quarantine, huh? At least you can probably watch. You can probably watch. Why don't you rewatch The Wire? Sorry, mate, with the greatest fucking respect, what planet are you living on, right? That you think I can put anything on that TV that is not a crudely CGI'd baby singing a lullaby? My son will only tolerate "Row, row, row your boat," and guess what? It only has one verse. It only has one verse, and that's all he wants to fucking watch is "Row, row, row your boat." And then there's other mad ones that are like, if you see an alligator, don't forget to scream. And I'm like, what you taught, it upsets me more making shit up. It upsets me more making shit up. So we're watching the same one on repeat. The pure one. Not the Cocoa Melon one. So the HSE, with the greatest respect to them, haven't got I'm not swearing. I'm never swearing again. Haven't got a clue about what to do because things are changing. And there really is no living with COVID plan. There's kind of a run towards COVID and then run away like it's a little wave and you don't want to get your feet wet plan. almost got COVID. So there's no plan. So I said, what do I do? And they said, hey, they said to me, which I thought was very familiar, too familiar. And I said, hey, what the fuck do I do? And they said, so, right, what you need to do is go quarantine for 10 days from your very first symptom. And I'm like, okay, so I've had this head cold for about 2 weeks. Okay, great, so you should be done. Well, they didn't say that, but they said, no, well, it is from the first symptom. And I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you that my first symptom was 2 weeks ago. And they're like, okay. And I'm telling you that I got the PCR test and it came back positive yesterday. And I go, okay. So again, I'm just going to check my manager there. Yeah, it's from 10 days from your first symptom. Okay, so let's go outside, will I? And I'll start licking lampposts. I wasn't careful. So now and then we called the HSC. I was like, what happens now? Son's technically finished, but he doesn't seem well. And it's just like, oh yeah, you can go outside. And that doesn't make any sense either. You know what I mean? There's no plan, you know. So I have not been watching The Wire. I've not been watching The Sopranos. I've been trying to just put my son down, just put him on the ground. Say, hey, look at that. Look at this ball. Oh my God. But my sales skills are out of whack, and he's not buying it anymore. He's gotten wind of it now. So it's also meant I haven't been able to do anything. I haven't been able to, I did one Patreon podcast last week. I was ill last Monday so I couldn't get this podcast out. But you know what? No excuses. So look, I don't know what this pod's going to be about. Maybe just me. Maybe put a couple of people on my fucking firing line. How about that? Put people on my crosshairs, my razor sharp comedy crosshairs, and just give you some fucking scathing satire. I don't know what this pod's going to be about. It was meant to be this week, but I haven't had the time to research it because I have a literal monkey attached to my back 24/7. It was meant to be about the Hibernia conspiracy. Associate producer and researcher to the stars Ben Clifford unearthed some very interesting documents, potentially revealing a Irish-led New World Order. So that'll be coming probably in 2 weeks' time. Next week will be the ranking of the Late Late Toy Show, where I rank all the children in order, and that'll be coming, of course, in a couple of weeks. But today, I think I'm just going to talk, about what's on my mind. Ease back into this, softly catch a monkey. And I would also like to thank the sponsor of this week's podcast, the Dubliner Irish Whiskey. Look, can I recommend something? Mark Jago, my co-host of Sexy Beasts, he turned me on to a very interesting Christmas cocktail that he's been enjoying. He's been enjoying himself a couple of Irish coffees. But guess what he's been putting in there? He's been putting the Dubliner Irish Whiskey Honeycomb Liqueur. It is like drinking a sweet caramel coffeed Irish coffee. It's absolutely delicious. All you do, if you got like one of those little pod machines, you put the coffee in and put a little shot of the Dubliner honeycomb liqueur in there. Oh my days, mate! It is a tasty drink, and I want to credit Mark Jago for its invention. It is an absolutely fabulous drink. But look, they got loads on there. They got Dubliner Green Label. That's the one that has a hint of sweetness because it's aged in a bourbon cask. They also have their beer cask range, one of which another pal's been really enjoying. I'm giving it away. I'm doling it out. I'm the fucking Father Christmas, mate, of Dubliner Irish whiskey. And that's the old-fashioned one. I've been enjoying that myself. Drinking it neat. No ice, because it's chilly enough out there. Thank you very much. But they've got loads over on there. Check out the DLD.com. And also a handful of the Young Hot Guys calendars. A perfect stocking filler. 3 sexy boys. All of the money, the proceeds going to Gay Community News. So if you want to be woke and you want to get a present for Christmas, I highly recommend picking up one of those calendars. Anyway, let's get into today, where I don't know what's going to be, but I think it's going to be fun because I'm in a funny little energy today. On the Tony Cantwell Shit Show. Enjoy. The Tony Cantwell Shit Show. Oh, lovely stuff there. So look, how are you doing? Have you got all your bits? Oh my God, have you set up all your Chris Kindles? Huh? My mom changed the name of the family WhatsApp group so that we could organize the Chris Kindle. And her name is Carla, right? My mom's name is Carla. And she changed the name of the WhatsApp group to Carla's Christmas Club, right? And she replaced all the C's with K's. And I'm like, Mom, you can't be calling... You can't... Every single C... including Carla and Christmas and Club, you've replaced with a K. You've changed the name of this group from Carla's Only Fams, as my brother, my stepbrother called it, Carla's Only Fams. And so it's been changed from Carla's Only Fams to the KKK, essentially. I mean, it isn't, it hasn't been abbreviated, but, I see it come up like, ooh. So we've set up the Chris Kindle now. But look, I'm only shopping Irish this year, guys. Please, I'm only shopping Irish. Please, don't even talk to me. Please, get out of my way, guys. I'm only shopping Irish this year, okay? I'm a good person. Yeah, hey, look at me. This is what a good person looks like. Going into Brown Thomas. Buying a lot of MAC brushes. I'm only shopping Irish this year, right? Sorry, how much? No, that's fine. No, no, I'm shopping Irish, but I just kind of, it's on for like 50% less online. It's on for much less online. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm a good person, so I don't mind spending 50 quid more than I didn't need to because I've seen it online. Just how I even found out about the brushes was I looked at them online and I saw them for a price, and now you're telling me that they're price. But I'm a good person, so yes, I will shop Irish this year. No, you should shop Irish. You should. I don't know. Should you? Well, you should. But I'm not feeling bad. Look, I'm telling you right now. You've caught me in a moment here. There's no space in my mind right now for the guilt of not shopping Irish. There's no space for that right now. I should, and I would, prefer to if I can. But I'm telling you, if I end up not, and that guilt shows up on the back of a donkey, pregnant, and I'm the innkeeper, I'll be like, hey, listen. There's no space in here. Please, my wife is guilt and with child. I'm telling you, bro, you couldn't swing a cat in here. I'm the innkeeper. I'm a little boy, 7-year-old with a towel on my head in a nativity play. You couldn't swing a cat in here. But if you would like, your wife could lay down in the stable out back. It's not much, but it's a nice warm hay. That's where you can stick your guilt, out in the stable back of my inn. You showed up here late, Joseph, right? You showed up here late. There was no reservation, right? You showed up here late during the census. Are you mad? You're making me feel bad here, man. You actually look, but just because you're a 70-year-old who banged up a young one. Oh, God. You know what I mean? Maybe if you were a better father and stop having a go at trying to make me feel, this is exactly guilt. There's no space for it here, right? But yeah, shop Irish if you can. I don't know what I want for Christmas, and so I don't want anything. When is that going to change? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't want anything. I almost had I wouldn't say an anxiety attack, but certainly an anxiety flush yesterday, where I was filling out my KK, and I was just looking at all the things that of course I want, but I'm never going to have the time to enjoy, right? And I'm like, what am I even doing? Why is the point of even anything? Because I have time. I have things that I can use to fill the time. I can play video games. I can, get on my little tablet and I can read comics. I have a subscription to Marvel Unlimited. All the Marvel comics are on there. I've been reading that. I've been really investing in my hobbies at the moment, and I've been really enjoying it. So I have time for that. So it's the idea of getting another cellophane box board game that can just sit on my shelf and remind me that I'm not 23 anymore, right? And I don't know if I need that, so I was having a little anxiety thing, right? And because of course I want. There's loads that I want, but it doesn't fit anymore, right? It doesn't fit within having more things just to sit there. Doesn't fit. But I still want. That's why I'm going to therapy. Because I still want. I seem to treat myself all the time. I want to treat myself when I'm feeling good, and I want to treat myself when I'm feeling bad. And the voice is kind of indistinguishable sometimes in my head. Because, of course, I always, I'm in a perpetual state of want. People think it's some Machine Gun Kelly, MGK. I am weed, where, Megan Fox says, hey, you smell like weed. And he says, I am weed. And that's when she fell for him. Don't actually know if she knows that he fucking stole that from Salvador Dali. Sir, are you on drugs? I am drugs, he says, while walking his anteater down La Rambla in Barcelona. I am drugs, he says. No, but I am a perpetual state of want. I've realized now, and this is not even after a prompt from my therapist, but I realize now that if I actually just breathe and take a moment, I won't act on my urge to treat myself, which is usually sometimes self-destructive, but certainly not good for the bank as well. Like the other day, oh my God, Terry, I was saying to Terry, here, we should watch The Mummy. And she was like, what, like the Brendan Fraser Mummy? And I'm like, no, we should watch the Tom Cruise Mummy, the famously bad movie that was meant to start the Universal's Dark Universe with Javier Bardem as Frankenstein, Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, and Angelina Jolie as the Bride of Frankenstein, and, you know, the Wolfman was in there somewhere, and Tom Cruise as a friend of the Mummy in The Mummy, right? And she was like, why would I want to watch that? And I'm like, because it just shows, it lives in a kind of alternate dimension of what Universal were trying to do, what Disney's doing with the MCU, with all their monsters, and it failed so publicly. And it so brazenly failed after they had a photoshopped photo of all the actors together saying, this is the fucking future of the Universal Dark Universe. All the monsters know each other. And she's like, is it good? And I'm like, no, it's bad. It's famously very bad. And look, she's fine with watching a bad movie. You know, she'll watch The Room or Fatal Deviation or anything like that. You know, so bad it's good. But when it's bad in that it doesn't hit the mark and it leaves you unsatisfying, she's the same as me. She's like, we got 2 hours of an evening. You know, it's the same 2 hours you're freaking out over looking at your fucking Settlers of Catan wrapped in fucking plastic, right? Why would I want to waste that watching a shit mummy movie? And I was so wound up and not getting my way, that I bought a book about Tom Cruise on Amazon. I bought a book about Tom Cruise. I bought Anatomy of an Actor by Amy Nicholson, a book about Tom Cruise, and I'm not going to read it. It's one of those big Phaidon, you know, Phaidon, Phaidon books, where it kind of reviews 10 of his greatest performances. And I love Amy Nicholson. She's a fantastic film reviewer and podcaster, and she does a podcast with Paul Scheer called Unspooled and The Canon for Earwolf, and she's, you know, but it was purely out of I fucking need to do. It reminded me not to liken myself, not to be too much of a werewolf in that I don't want to liken myself to this man in this regard, but it reminded me of a story Louis C.K. told on Mark Maron, and obviously it makes a lot more sense now post all, you know, the allegations about him. But he was saying Mark Maron was slagging him off because he's famously very bad with money. Like whenever he had money, he would like spend it immediately. Like he'd buy things when he didn't have a pot to piss in. And he said like I think he had done comedy in this club pretty much every day for like 2 weeks. He'd gotten a big payout after doing a shitload of work in this comedy club. And I think it was like maybe $5,000 or something like that. And he had $5,000, more money he'd ever had in his life. And he's walking around Times Square with $5,000. And he fucking has this urge to like treat himself. So he goes into this music shop and he's all like, I'm going to fucking, funnily enough, learn the saxophone. He's like, I'm going to learn the saxophone. You know, he's looking for some sort of satisfaction here. He's got the money. It's not done anything. He's like, wow, yeah. He's gone in and spent, and he chats to this guy and he's like, I'm trying to learn the saxophone. He's like, look, we got a lot of beginner saxophones here, but if you really want to stand out with a saxophone, this is the best saxophone that we have. This is, you know, turns out it's the same amount of money exactly as he has, like $5,000. It's like intricate brass and like pearl fucking like, you know, whatever finger things, you know, I don't know, the saxophone, you know, engraved brass and everything like that, gets totally upsold, spends $5,000 on this saxophone and he feels nothing. So he goes into one of these, and there's a gross part of his story, skip ahead 30 seconds, he goes into this like nudie booth where people look at strippers and they, you know, pleasure themselves. And so he does that. And he gets a stain on this like intricate case of the saxophone. And he looks at the saxophone and his shame upon the saxophone. And he says on Mark Maron, he realizes that if he had just gone in there first, he wouldn't have spent $5,000 because he has anxiety, you know. But just that idea that, you know, no, I'm not the same. Mine is getting annoyed that I don't get to waste my wife's time with a Tom Cruise movie, so I spitefully buy a coffee table book about Tom Cruise, you know. But yeah, I think now I just need to get something that fits within maybe a Fitbit, maybe so I can get a wrist-bound reminder of my inactivity. Maybe don't need a new notebook, don't need a new pen. Hang on, let's have a look. Let's see what the top gifts for men are this holiday season, and I'll see if any of them fit. So here we go. Esquire magazine, the 52 best gifts that'll impress any guy. I'm already impressed. Esquire magazine is a fabulous publication. Would you know what's mad? I used to have, I don't know if it is, but I used to have a subscription to Esquire magazine, and I didn't read any of them. I think I had one of those, those subscriptions you get like a pamphlet through the door that was like, please buy magazines again, please. 3 years for £6, just please buy a magazine. And I think I did that because I thought it would look cool if I had Esquire magazines around my room. Girls would be like, oh my God, you didn't on the surface look like a guy who looks after himself, but I see your stack of 36 Esquire magazines in the corner, which now leads me to believe that you're actually a specimen. I'm sorry I didn't see that. You looked like a hoarder, but now that I can see with your 36 Esquire magazines in the corner, you're actually an alpha male. All right, let's see here. A personal concrete fireplace. Terry, I'm going out to the landing just to light my fireplace again, right? I just want to stare into the fire, just do man shit. No, a pocket photo printer. And then how soon until I run out of the things that I have to buy that turn out to be more expensive than the thing itself? No, thank you. A brew bottle from Soma. This is a glass travel mug that also works as a cold brew maker and a pour over maker. Yeah, how soon until I leave it in the fucking fumbly with the last bottle that I lost? My brother Andy sent me a video of him, and I thought he got it as a free promotional thing. He bought this. He got it from AliExpress. It's a bottle that tells you the temperature of the water that you're drinking. It's an e-bottle. And I'm like, how? I said, this is what happens. This is what's going to happen, right? It'll be 1 week until you lose the wire to charge that, and you never know what the temperature is, and 2 weeks until you lose it permanently. People, this is the thing. Bottles, hats, they're going walkabout, right? They're only buy them cheap because you're only going to have them for a short period of time. £36 euro. The last tea bottle was like 40 quid. These runners look all right. A 45-second omelette maker. Single use. Terry will fucking kill me if I bring another single use thing in here. We got this air fryer, and I'm telling you, I'm even air frying the bread because I'm really trying to prove that. This was another thing I didn't need to buy. I bought an air fryer, right? I got paid for a sponsored job, and I bought an air fryer, right? And I felt fucking dead. I bought an air fryer, and I felt dead. But I thought it would complete me. I thought it would complete every part of my soul getting this air fryer, and I tell you, it just made things a bit dry. I bought it, and I was like, I just need the air fryer. This is a perfect example of me just breathing. Maybe I need like a fucking magic word or a mantra or something like that. I'm like, anyway, I'm getting good use out of it anyway because I'm trying to reclaim that it was a good idea, even though it was a bad idea between me and you. Terry still thinks that I like it. So 45-second omelette maker from Tony Holman. After years of making eggs but not quite mastering the perfect omelette, fluffy and light but not rubbery, this is the gift for that man. It's dead useful and well crafted and microwavable. What is it? All it is a bowl. It's a bowl that has like a thing up the middle. Like, it's nice ceramic, to be fair to it, but it's got a kind of a peak in the middle of it. So it's almost like a ring. Do you know what I mean? It's got like a peak up in the middle of it. Like it's those like little ring things that you leave your rings on your nightstand, your bedside locker, or what is a European way of saying a fucking drawer beside your bed. It looks like one of them. It's a bowl. It's not a maker. You put eggs in this bowl and you microwave it, and they're selling it. Now, it is some nice stoneware clay. All right, next here, a dash cam. No one needs to see how bad I am as a driver. A Bluetooth Smart Pen Plus and notebook set from Moleskine. Okay, here we fucking go. So the pen, you write this down. Yeah, it's a magic pen that you write down in the notebook, and everything you write in the notebook gets saved onto this app that you're never going to use ever again. Rather than maybe just writing it in your phone or writing it on a notebook and taking a picture of it. Now this is just, you'll get it all saved on a PDF. How dare you charge me 150 quid for something I can do right now for 50p? How dare you? But also, I get it. I get it, because you're like, No, this is more kind of like back to nature. I live one of these kind of hybrid, kind of tactile yet digital. I live in the kind of tactile digital space. No, not working for me. Temperature controlled smart mug 2 from Ember. This temperature regulating mug will keep every cup of coffee steaming hot for an hour and a half. So great, you got one mug, do you? You got one mug. I'm just washing my mug. Oh, the mug's dirty. Oh, I'll use my other mug. Oh, it's cold again. I spent €100. I've gone back to my... I bought... This is another one I bought recently, right? I thought the thing that would save my life was a electric toothbrush. Charged it once. Charger's in the other room. I haven't charged it again. I've gone back to my old toothbrush, right? It's just in the other room. It's in a different room. It's plugged in a different room. In the bathroom, there's no plug. So it's in another room. And I haven't, in the last 3 weeks, put it back on its charging station. And rather than that, I've gone back. I found my old toothbrush. This is the logic. This is just the default screensaver brain logic that is not thinking. So as soon as this mug is dirty, you're going to go back to another mug. You're going to get two. It's €200. You know what I mean? Not for me. The NES Classic Edition. Look, this should be perfect. This is the classic Nintendo Entertainment System. It's back, preloaded with 30 Nintendo games on it. It should be perfect. But it's £250 on Amazon to play, essentially, mess around with Donkey Kong for a while because you watched The King of Kong. Play Super Mario Bros. 3 and complete it and have a great time, and maybe play a little bit of Legend of Zelda just so you can listen to some of the music again and the sound effects like when you open up a chest and have a bit of a buzz like that. Beyond that, £250, it's going to be gathering dust in the drawer. And can I recommend this to you, my friend? If you're looking to go down the classic video game route, get yourself a Raspberry Pi, right? That's a small little computer. You can get it for like 30 quid, right? Download onto it a thing called RetroPie. And you can basically play any game on this. If you've owned it before, it's legal to download. You can legally download games again, right? Legally. So you can play PlayStation games. You can play Nintendo N64 games. And for 30 quid, maybe 50 quid if you throw in a USB controller, and you can connect it to your TV with a little HDMI out, you can get this little thing. And you can play literally any game that's ever come out. So all I would see, if someone got me the NES thing, is a kind of grandiose Raspberry Pi with only a handful of the games for 5 times the price. Because I'm an asshole like that. But it's a nice sentiment. But thing about Nintendo, though, is, right, this is £250. You are going to be driving people into the illegal video game piracy market if you keep doing stuff like this. In general, Nintendo, I don't know if they're very stuck in their ways, right? They keep to the same price. They don't drop the price of anything. If you were to walk in and buy Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the most recent, but certainly by no means like a new game in computer exchange secondhand, it would probably be the same price as it was the first day it came out. They don't drop the prices. They don't drop the prices for anything. And they don't, like, people are like, please just give us a good Pokemon game. And they're like, no. Please give us a kind of, a top-down 3D open-world Pokemon game. They're like, no, you're not having it. Give us a new Metroid. No, no. Give us, or even they do something like Super Mario 64, a game I've talked about a lot, sometimes high, sometimes not on this podcast, was reskinned essentially with kind of HD upgrades, and it was also packaged in with Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube and Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii, and it was this whole HD, previous generation 3D Mario thing, and it was only available for a limited time, and it was only available mostly online. How is it that a fucking file that's a game is only going to be available for a limited time? Just to create some level of supply and demand, because there's no real scarcity of this thing, because it's a file on the Nintendo store. You have to create this false scarcity, ensuring people buy it. I don't think so, to quote Macaulay Culkin. I will sooner now, what you've done now is mean that I'm only going to play them illegally and you're not going to get a penny, right? I shouldn't out myself for saying that. But I'm just saying you're going to drive people. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Alto Frames audio sunglasses. Okay, so these are Bose sunglasses. Bose headphones? Well, these are sunglasses. So guess what? You can lose your glasses and your headphones at the same time. It's at the same beach. You know your headphones? Well, you were going to put it all together and you're going to lose everything coming back from the beach. And it'll be one of those things that even if you just lost your sunglasses, you'd be like, oh, well, at least I had a good time. Oh, I lost my headphones. I lost everything at the beach. It was so not worth it. So there you are. An outdoor pizza oven from Uni. Look, I like what Uni's doing. I like the fact that it's this kind of democratization of pizza. I have said for years pizza is too expensive. It's shocking, the fact that you get, and I know they do their deals in Domino's, 2 pizzas for 20, but it's still 1 for 20. It should be 1 for 10. So I like the whole democratization of pizza. But again, if I had this, I'd be putting fucking everything in it. I'd be putting salads in it. You come in here with scorching hot tomatoes coming out of it. So, no thank you. All right, let's see what else. What do you got? Towels. Actually, I wouldn't mind some towels. I wouldn't mind some towels. Alarm clock. No, I have a phone. A subscription to Masterclass All Access. I bought a subscription on AliExpress for Masterclass for like a login, and it was just the same login. I spent like €2 on it, and it was the same login information that was given to everyone, and it disappeared after a day. So here's a recommendation for you: don't buy a subscription to Masterclass on AliExpress. Although I did watch the entire Aaron Sorkin How to Write a TV Show Masterclass, and it made me just realize that I'm not Aaron Sorkin. Which is a key difference there, you know. Some pots and pans. Look, no, this is just not. All right, here we fucking go. The Slim Zero attachable bidet. Finally, an accessible and affordable way of spraying water on your arse here in Ireland. I'm not even going to tell you the price yet, but listen to this, right? Room temperature water, a seat sensor, nightlight, spray options, a stainless steel nozzle, adjustable water pressure and nozzle position, economy settings, and a slow closing lid. You probably think, what? This is what, €8,000? Let me tell you, I have never seen a smart toilet feature less than €8,000, and I've been looking since the 90s. I remember it was like 98. I was at a friend's house, and she lived in a fancy gaff, and her dad had imported a Japanese toilet, only spoke Japanese, and it would spray water on your hoop, right? And this was back when the only thing you knew about Japan was that there was fancy technology, or your dad might have a boss who was Japanese and was coming over for dinner, and you couldn't be culturally insensitive, right? They were the only 2 things that were Japanese back then, and one of them was a smart toilet. And I remember looking even up back then, and it was like £8,000 back then. This was pre-2001, 2002. So when the euro came in. So you're probably thinking, what, is this the same price? This is $130, it says here, which I imagine they probably... It's not going to be like for like. It'll probably be €200. But €200 to never wipe again. To never wipe your arse again. The biggest inconvenience known to man. Wiping your arse. This is exactly the thing. I'm telling Terry. We're getting this. We're getting this straight away. It ships from US delivery. All right, we'll have to figure this out. All right, I'm getting this bidet. €130. She's getting me that. Absolutely. We need a new shower head. We need loads of new stuff. But this... is something we need to get right now. Perfect. Right. Next. Self-cleaning water bottle, €100 on Amazon. Hey, if it's a water bottle, guess what? It's clean, doofus. What are you, dumb? What are you, bored? What are you putting in it? Oil? Well, maybe stop putting oil in it. If it's water, guess what? I've got a water bottle, guess what? Never been cleaned. Why? Because there's water in it. Because it's just water. Water is cleaning. So, and I'd also lose it, £100. This is the kind of thing. The Sausamoto in-car dip clip. It's a thing that clips into your thing to hold exactly the right size for McDonald's dipping sauces. Now, it's exactly the thing that I shouldn't have. You clip it on your kind of like your air vent, and you can hold sauces. I have eaten many a nug in my car, and I tell you, this is a big inconvenience. I have to stop. It actually slows down my day because I have to stop on the corner of the road with the hazards on, eating nuggets. If I had the Sausamoto in-car dip clip, I could cut my nugget consumption time by 75%. Easily. This is very interesting, and they're only €10. I'm into it. The Mavic Mini 2 drone. Oh, look, I'd love to get into drones. I would love to get into drones, flying drones, doing that whole VR headset where you're flying them through hoops and, flying alongside the dart and pissing off conductors. I would love it, right? But one, I'm too clumsy. I'd end up crashing it into a tree. A magpie would end up raising it as its own kid, right? And two, I do not have the restraint to not stare in people's windows. I'm sorry. If I had this, you would end up hearing outside your door. I would be staring in your windows, right? I do not have the restraint. I'm too curious. So I do not need technology. I do not need 4 perfectly balanced lightweight blades, flying blades, and a HD 4K camera. These will only, enhance my ability to be an absolute dirtbird pervert, right? I do not need it. Not that you'd be getting changed, but I'm just curious. I want to look in your gaff. I will already look in your gaff if you're at the bottom floor of an apartment, right? And you have your curtains open. I'll be standing there staring. Darragh Breen's got a great bit about it. I'll be there staring. I do not need technology to help in that perverseness. Is there anything else that tickles my fancy? Kettlebell. Yeah, right. A toaster. Hang on, it looks fancy. No, I know I do have a... No, I can't be getting a fucking toaster. See, there's nothing. There's nothing. Well, look, I hope you really enjoyed this why you should buy nothing guide for 2021. But look, if you are going to buy anything out there, guys, please be sure they shop Irish. Thank you very much for listening. Can I say something, though? If you like this podcast and you would like to listen to more of this podcast, perhaps a better structured version of this podcast, did you know that you can get an extra podcast every single week on a Friday over on patreon.com/Tony Cantwell for the price of a pint a month? You can get a free podcast every single, well, not a free podcast, but that's what you're paying for. You get an extra podcast every Friday. Coming up this Friday, I am doing a supermarket sweep where I am going into all of the supermarkets in Ireland, well, one of the chains, and I'm going to spend a $5, and I'm going to see what you can get with the $5 in terms of affordability, what the stock is like, and what the shopping experience is like, and I'm going to be ranking all of the supermarkets in the supermarket sweep. You got Tesco, you got SuperValu, you got Dunn's, you got Lidl, you got Aldi, you've even got Fresh, you got SuperValu. All of them that are listed in Wikipedia's list of supermarkets are being put to the test this Friday. Go check that out. And also, one of the perks of being a Patreon subscriber is you get early bird access to all the gigs as they're announced. And next week, although there's tickets available still for the Vicar Street gig for the 25th and 26th of March, there were some new tickets made available there for the Top Deck. They likely will sell out. There's going to be some new gigs announced next week, coming to a city near you. In the Irish leg of the tour, there's also going to be a small UK leg of the tour, which I'm very excited about. So if you want to get early bird tickets, Patreon subscribers will always get tickets first, at least a day or two before all the others. So if you want to go over there, and also if you don't want any of that shit and you just like the podcast and you're like, you know what, I wouldn't mind throwing this guy a pint, you can go over to patreon.com/Tony Cantwell and do just that. As well as that, on December 3rd, myself, Kevin McGahern, and Justine Stafford are watching Home Alone live and talking over it, and it's going to be a lot of fun in the Omniplex in Rathmines. That's December 3rd, Friday. Tickets are sold out for that, but keep posted on @TonyHorror, and there will be more of those kind of gigs announced in the future. Still can't believe we're getting to do that one, but there will be more in the future. And as well as that, there are still some tickets available for the upcoming gig at the Liberty Hall Theatre. Myself, Julie J, Fred Cook, Peter McGann, Colin McDonald, Kevin McGarren's putting it on. You've got Carl Spain, you've Emma Doran, Ed Salmon, and likely one person that I'm forgetting, Barry Murphy, and likely another person I'm forgetting. It's a big gig, Stand Up to Hunger. It is in aid of UNICEF in support of the Yemenis people during the horrible famine that they're experiencing there. But it will be a very fun night of comedy. There's such... I mean, the quality is unbelievable, but there's also just so many comedians on it. It's really quite a lot of bang for your buck, and all the money is going to UNICEF, as I said, for Yemen. But there's also a raffle. If you go to the Stand Up to Hunger Instagram, there is a raffle where they're giving away some unbelievable things. There is like Den merchandise from the 90s. There's a signed poster from Dustin when he ran for like TD, Dublin poster, signed by the bird himself. There's also prints from various designers. There's tickets for pretty much all the gigs, all the big name gigs in Vicar Street next year. There's a lot of things, and again, you're just giving money towards UNICEF, and you might also win something really class. But look, that's me. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye-bye.